Start again. Ready for this?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah, talking now.
That's what we do. We talk.
That's so good. Let's do this. It's a lovely day today. It's a day of days. It's a hot day today. The day is hot. It's bright and fair. Oh, happy day. It's a day of joy. 32 degrees today.
That's what you said. My phone's saying 28, but maybe it's lying.
The phone is lying. The phone is white. The car is black. The car is telling me the truth.
Wow.
I said it.
Going there. Or maybe it's 32 in your car. That's what's going on.
And it's 28 in your pocket because you are too cool for school.
Hey,
Bars.
good comeback.
The compliment, mate.
Good comeback. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a good day today. Kevlar Kess, your personal trainer's personal trainer, your favorite coach's favorite coach, your favorite fighter's favorite fighter, all that good stuff.
And this is David Love, the poet's choice, the man with the velvet voice, and you are in tune to Just Cruising.
Now, add one. I'm going to talk to you. And it's Kevlar Kess.
Go for it, man.
Kevlar Kess, a face for radio, a voice for video.
Oh my god.
You got to think about that, like, what did you say? Yeah, I said what I said.
Face for radio, voice for video.
Isn't it supposed to? No, just take it. We're doing it live. We're not cutting.
Unplanned.
You know, unscripted, unedited. Nonsense.
Speaking of that, you know, it was interesting. I started thinking about today's topic, and then I remembered, no, this is unplanned and unscripted. I had to catch myself and go, no, my thoughts will be fresh.
Do you want to see unscripted? Really see unscripted?
Go ahead.
I'll just be cruising, just pull over to a bank, just take my mask on, just bring a gun and say, just give me 5 minutes, I'm coming. Wait! And leave the camera on. Wait, keep the car running. Just
Keep the car running.
Thank you. Just come back in the car. Yeah.
You got to save that for the live stream.
You know.
Make it really live.
Yeah. I laugh because in years we've been having a lot of the young cats been doing something like that, where they'd live stream their nonsense.
As in
the robbery,
crime.
the death, the killing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's happening.
Dude, it's been happening for years.
To be honest, that doesn't actually surprise me too much.
Well, no, because you have that thing that most people don't have. What's the word? Common sense. You have common sense, so you commonsensically you would not want to corrupt your data by putting foul files that are corrupt in your database. Yeah, nothing. And it's like the new age rappers, the young rappers who they rap about what they did.
Yeah.
And then they wonder how did they catch me? You snitched on yourself.
Yeah.
You snitched on yourself. It happens a lot. It happens way too often.
I've seen it in songs, some interviews as well.
Yes. You see, when I see those kind of interviews, the interviewer, I suspect them to be like a agent of chaos or someone who works for a higher authority. Yes. You understand? Someone who's because there are questions you ask people just for views and entertainment, and then there are also questions you ask people that you know is going to incriminate them.
Yeah.
And my thing is, why would you ask that person that particular question
on camera?
It's not random.
Yeah.
On camera, because you would ask that question. The person that's holding the camera, that's managing and directing that video, it's not silly and or stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is they don't just stare at random things. They've thought about what they're gonna say, what they're gonna ask. Remember, it's planned. It's not unplanned. It's not unscripted. It's scripted.
100%.
So they've written down all the questions and they've written down the puzzles and the layers to that question.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, do you not understand you're being played? That person asking the question, they definitely work for someone else who is trying to implicate you into that thing that they couldn't catch you on a normal basis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but 10 years ago, blah 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 blah. Did you do it, bro? Why? Who sent you?
Yeah, it's bizarre to me that people would even go on some of these platforms when they've literally got a history of doing that. And the other thing is, not only do they plan the questions in advance, but before they post that content, they're going to go through it and edit it. So if they wanted to make sure that you weren't incriminated, they would edit out those questions, right? They'd be like, okay, let me cut this part out because this might get someone killed, or this might get someone arrested, or this might cause a gang.
This might cause something
conflict or whatever.
But for us, the viewers, the moment we see the videos that are basically edited videos, and you go, hold up, this person chose to put this one online.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. But you don't see it because you can't think past you. That's why most people they don't grasp that reality, that thought process. They don't get it. You're right. I go, nah, something's off. Something's definitely off. I don't like that. And even the V lad guy, television, when
V lad.
Yeah, the V lad guy.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
He does that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And everyone goes, hold up. I mean, if Villa asked me to come to, an interview on Friday, and I see a video of it on his page on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and he is stylistically trying to get people to snitch, I'm not gonna go on there. I'm not, because he's gonna make you snitch on someone else and snitch on yourself too, and in all in the defense of, but you're gonna get paid.
I believe he doesn't pay people. Does he pay people?
He pays people. He pays, but he pays like a little amount. This was the case with it does, but this was the case with the Wayans fella, Marlon Wayans.
Okay.
I had a case with him about a while back, a week ago. So about, no, if you want me on the show, pay me this.
Okay.
He normally pays this.
Right.
He says, no, pay me this, and then I get a percentage as well. So pay me this and a percentage. And Vlad's like, nope, you're nobody. And the dude's like, nah, you don't know about me. This is my neighborhood. These are my people. You're not like us. They're not like us. These are my people. Just because you've been
around.
You've been a gatekeeper for a long time does not make you a black person. And that's the thing. That's the problem. Because Vlad does not interview non-black folks. He interviews black-related situations. And every person he interviews, he tries to incriminate them.
Yeah, or get them to talk about some drama, or sometimes it's interesting. Sometimes it's not just incriminate on the level of get themselves in trouble with the law. Sometimes it's talk about this, situation which is really sensitive and which could cause a conflict between you and someone else. Like,
yeah, there's the age-old fight game. The age-old fight game. If you see a fight of Rashad Evans and Quentin Rampage Jackson, two brothers duking it out, there's always some non-brother in the middle. It's like, oh no, but he said this about you. He said that about you. If you remember, back in the day, dude, 90s, 80s, 90s, right? In school.
I was thinking of school as well.
There you go. 80s, 90s in school, it was a big thing that, these Jamaicans, these Africans, these Caribbeans, these that. But if you sat back and watched it, it was actually the non-black people that were getting me to go against you. They were getting you to go against me. We didn't realize it because we're none the wiser. And what happened was they sat back and enjoyed the chaos. Because all we saw was, oh, this person said that you did this. And we all got so emotionally charged up, as we are, as a people, that we couldn't see past what wasn't. It's crazy, isn't it? You gave your flashbacks.
No, I'm thinking about just a lot of things. Like the fight game, especially.
Yes.
It's usually two people of color and.
Oh, dude, the fight game is big like that.
And someone non-melanated in the middle making all the money.
It's big like that. It's big like that.
Usually.
95% of the time. But now, what happens is, if you're a POC, if you're a person of color, and you start to do your own fight game, right? They would try all they possibly could to railroad that nonsense.
Yeah, and there's
off the rails.
There's a lot of criticism. Like if you look at PBC, which is Al Heyman's, the amount of people who try and come for them and critique them and this and that, completely disproportionate.
Yes.
Compared to other promoters.
Yes. Even Mayweather.
Yeah. I didn't even mention him because it just goes without saying. Like he's just.
But I have to say it because
embraced the villain.
Because people. Oh yeah, you see how it's full circle.
Yeah.
I have to.
I'm creating a segue. Right
I have to say Mayweather because every other person who doesn't know the game sees Floyd Mayweather as this chauvinistic, misogynistic, misogynistic, cocky, throwing money spending person, bad guy that's always in the face of the media. We don't like this guy, yada yada yada. Yes, he's smart, and many fighters would rather fight in his show. Why? Because on camera he plays the villain very well. He's the bad guy. Behind the scenes, everyone that fights in his shows gets paid good money.
Yeah.
And they get paid 100% of their money. For example, there are some fight shows that the managers are the ones that get paid, not the fighters. So the fighter does the fighting.
What?
I got you. The manager is one that gets the money and then gives the fighter his 80%.
So he takes his cut out of the gross.
Because the manager manages the business. The fighter's the business. So the manager manages the business. So the account details, the blah blah blah, everything is in the company's name, which is the manager's going to hold it. So that person gets paid. And then the manager goes, okay, good. You're going to get your money minus this percentage. This is my percentage I got because I got the fight for you. I get this percentage because I did this transaction for you, and I have this fee, this charge, this so the fight, dude. This is game. This is game because
because this is to train you, and then this is for this.
There you go.
This is for that.
And it now turns to, oh, you're nobody without me. I got the fight for you. I made you. I paid the coaches. I paid the everything. I paid the gym.
All this stuff costs money, blah blah blah. Yeah, I could just picture it.
That car that dropped you off on that day, the flight, the this, to that, it comes out of your account. So you, the fighter, you just get a measly percentage.
After you put in the risk,
broken bones, blood, tears. When it rains, that pain you had 10 years ago comes back. When the weather drops, you feel that pain is there again. Not the manager, but you.
So Floyd will pay the fighter direct.
Yes. And
then he pays his manager out of that money.
No.
Is that how it would work?
Because the manager didn't get the fight for him. Floyd said, "You're a good fighter. I want to fight my show." So Floyd will talk to the guys directly.
Oh wow. So
there's no manager needed.
So it's for the guys. I guess the guy would have to arrange what he's paying the manager himself then.
It's not. It doesn't pay manager.
I mean, not a manager, but like the trainer.
Oh yeah, definitely. The coach
stuff.
different.
Yeah.
So the coach is different. The coach gets a standard coach fee. Decide who you, your PT, everything, you get all that. It's a thing. You know, sad. But also, on a manager point of view, I get why managers charge their fighters. I get that part. Because there are some people that when you do things for them for free, they will never appreciate you. They will never appreciate the work you've done. Never.
Training someone is an incredible commitment as well. Like in terms of what if the person's really doing it properly. Like there's so much that goes into that.
I train people every day. I train fighters every day. Yeah, and
a lot, man.
You have the ones who are committed, the ones who are not committed. You have the ones who are serious, not serious.
Mm-hmm.
On game day, when it happens, you see it all. You see it all. What I do not do though, I will not train a person who does not listen. Go somewhere else. If you're hard-headed, go somewhere else. In training, if you're hard-headed in training, go somewhere else. Because here's why. Training is when things are calm, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you are hard-headed when there's no pressure,
just imagine.
You are not gonna be better when there's pressure. It's that simple. And I'm a grown-ass man. I don't have the time for that. I don't have the patience, the time. Nonsense. We're not doing that. That whole no, no, I'm not doing that. I've had a few shows where I've had my fighters and I'm shouting for what they need to do and they're not doing it. So I'm saying, for example, the jab, and what are they not doing? Not jabbing. So okay, clearly you know more than me, and I'll just sit down there and watch.
You stop giving instructions.
Yeah, stop. Because bear in mind, under pressure and tension, adrenaline, you will say the same thing 5 times for the brain to hear it twice or once, right? And then once they hear it once, they respond accordingly. But when you shout 10 times and they're not responding accordingly, it means yes, they've already heard you, but they're doing their own thing. What would you do as the master? You just sit back and watch. And then during the break, when they come back in during the break, the first thing you do is, because this is one thing, not less experienced coaches or cornermen do this. Once they come out of the group, all right, start talking. Don't do that. They're tired.
Yeah.
They need 10 seconds to themselves, and they need to re-oxygenate their blood. So once they come in, get some water, deep breaths, 3 times. Once they've done the 3rd breath, start talking. That's what you do. Also, it's your words in that moment are very important. You watch how you say. You don't F and blind at them. You don't curse at them. You don't shout. Don't get mad. No. So, for example, like I said, you're not jabbing. You're not doing what I said. I'll just, when they've taken the water, they've caught their breath, and I go, what did I say you should do? Jab. What did you not do? Jab.
Oh, wow.
What are you going to do now? Jab. Let's go, jab. That's it.
Here's a question for you.
Shoot.
Let's say, for example, you've got, well, I've seen a lot of fights where the cornerman's actually given them the correct guidance, but they still don't act on it round after round. And I'm trying to wrap my head around why they don't. Because it happens sometimes in some fighters, and sometimes they're really high level fighters.
Yes.
And you're just like, well, is he just not there tonight? Like, what's actually happening?
Like, you have good days, you have not so good days. Some days it's just right. Some days it's not. Some days on your really good days, you stay, family is not around you, you're good, you wake up in the morning, you brush your teeth, everything is just right. You know, you're on time, your right song is playing, everything just feels right. You are one with the universe. You go in there, you feel smooth, no injuries, everything, and then when it's fight time, you hear the coach loud and clear. You commit, you do it. Things are great.
Okay.
Some days not so good. You wake up in the morning, you're like 10 seconds late to where you need to go to, which just causes a whole avalanche of nonsense. The song is playing, but it's too loud. You can't hear this. Everybody's 5 minutes late. You're arguing with the missus. She's not doing this enough. She's running late because her mascara is not on properly. You go to her makeup. She's making you 5 more minutes late. These small things get your goat. All that energy that affects the fight. When it's fight, you've argued with someone has touched you the wrong way just before fight time. When it's fight time, you are not one with the universe.
You're just completely out of sync.
Just a bad day.
Because there's times I'm watching it and I can't. I'm looking. I'm like, what is happening right now? Like I know the fighter's abilities because I've seen them fight, and it's not that he's asking them to do something which is outside of their capabilities. They probably drilled all this stuff 100 times, and yet he just still can't seem to execute.
Yep.
Just a bad day in the office.
That's what it is. It's not so grandiose. It's just a bad day in the office. But then you also have the times when some people just don't listen. Now that's the fault of the coach. Because the coach should have picked up on that in training.
Yeah, I thought you'd say that.
The coach should have seen that in training. There's a way I do it. So, for me personally, I have different ways of training people. So if I say to you, jab, cross, hook, right? Simple as that. Jab, cross, hook. But I want to see your defense. Everyone can punch. My question is, can you punch and block at the same time? Right. Simple as that. Now I'll say, okay, we're doing jab, cross, hook 20 times. Go. Good. And I go, oh, guess what? I'm not counting yet. So what? Yeah. If you do it right, I'm gonna count.
Like that. I like that.
Yeah, I've not started though. I'm waiting. I'm here all day. I'm waiting for you. Wait. I'll wait. You look me, I look you. I'm waiting. And then they do it right the first time. Ba, ba, ba. 1.
Yeah.
Ba, ba, ba. 2.
We're throwing it with the correct cover.
Ba, 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 ba. 3. Ba, ba, ba. 3. Ba, ba. 3. Ba, ba, ba. 4. Simple.
Yeah.
They come again the next day, do the same thing again. They do it right this time.
Yeah, I didn't want that extra work.
There you go. And then I'll go, okay, this next round of sparring, you've got to do this 10 times in the round. That's it. Simple as that. So in that round, I want to see you do this particular thing 10 times. You can do anything you want to do. Good for you. But give me my 10 of this. Make sense? Boom. I don't care how you do what you do, just do it. So it's sparring training. You're not just going there looking like a fool. You have specifics. You can do anything you want to do throughout the whole fight, throughout the whole round. But in that round, do this thing 10 times. The first round, they don't even try and do it at all. Okay, cool. So remember, my thing is, I'm not trying to be shouting in the air every sparring round. No. You have a task at hand. That's your job now. Be independent in that level. So do that thing 10 times in the next round. Don't do it. Okay, good. So now what happens is, if you don't do that thing for that round, no problem. After the round, you're going to do 50 burpees. That's it. Yeah, but okay, you want to argue with me? 60 burpees. Keep talking shit. 70 burpees. Boom. Simple. You have one job. Do that one thing 10 times. That's it. I don't do politics. I don't do long talk. You have one job, do it or don't do it. That's it. If you can't do it, 50 burpees, go.
The thing I like about this is, on the surface level, you're talking about training someone, but these are the principles of
life.
Yes. You know? These are principles in terms of how you would coach someone.
It's exactly
someone.
That.
And I like you're breaking it down like that, because sharp people will get the underlying message.
Yes.
There are consequences when it's not done correctly.
Right. Yes. But remember, in the moment, he who decides how it's done right is the villain. So while I'm
thinking that.
Yeah. While I'm setting the standard, I'm the bad guy.
That.
I'm the bad guy because I'm punishing you for not doing what you need to do, which is fine by me. I embrace it. If doing the right thing makes me the villain, well, I'm villain this. Simple as that. So, if it takes me to be mean to do what's best for you, I'm going to be mean. Because I know what's best for you. The fact that you're arguing with me about what's best for you means you have no idea what's best for you. Because if you knew what's best for you, you wouldn't say a word. It's true. Being a bad guy is different. There are different kind of quote unquote bad guys.
We haven't actually said what the topic is.
Is there a topic?
Let me drop it real quick. So today's topic.
No, wait. 27 minutes. After 27 minutes, you have to drop topic.
Oh, you've been talking, innit? I'm just letting you.
Halfway through the episode.
I've been letting you just run with it. I was waiting to see if you'd connect it.
Halfway through the episode.
I see you making a segue now.
Halfway through the episode.
And what do you want me to do?
Time for commercial break. Okay.
I thought so. After the commercial break, we will come back with the actual topic.
Commercial break.
I'm glad you started connecting it though, because I was like, So, today's topic is, how do you find your inner villain and what are the pros and cons to this?
Me.
Over to you, brother.
This guy, you like just throw it on me like, no, okay,
yeah,
answer.
Absolutely.
First off, you have to practice for 5 minutes a day to be an a-hole. Most people are not. Most humans are nice, but they need to practice being mean sometimes. It goes a long way.
I like that. Microdose.
Microdose, yeah. It's small doses. In a day, 5 minutes a day. It's one of those things where they say, be careful when you battle monsters, lest you become one yourself. Sun Tzu also says, in order to know the enemy, you need to become the enemy. So, in order to know how to handle the bad guys, you need to become the bad guy for 5 minutes a day. Now, the bad guy does not necessarily mean, evil. Like I said earlier, sometimes you have to make the necessary decisions for a better tomorrow. And best believe in me, most decisions we make today that are not nice, why are they not? Why is that person making that decision? Is there a bigger picture? There's something that we cannot see. So if you have the ability to plan ahead, plan forward, and you have a 10-year plan or 20-year goal, that 10-year plan, 20-year goal has got to start today. It can't start in 5 years' time. It's got to start today. For it to start today, there has to be a necessary sacrifice. which is what we're looking at, right? So if I sacrifice this thing, this comfort, it's going to disrupt other people, and I need to be mean for 5 minutes to disrupt everything else. So there's a reason for that. So that's the pro, is that it's for the greater good. The con about that is it affects people in a negative way today, which means they don't like you, which means you're the bad guy, which means you're the villain. But the villain is not always wrong.
I was gonna ask how you define villain. Like, if you look at the dictionary definition, it's gonna be the character in a play or a novel or a story whose evil action moved the plot forward or moved the plot along. That's one definition of it. When you're speaking about villain, how are you conceiving it?
Well, that's in a play. That's for a play. That's different.
Yeah, sure.
For reality, it's the same thing. It's the actions which the quote-unquote villain make and take moves the story. Without taking that action, that goal in 10 years will not be achieved. So the story is about getting there eventually. It's about getting there eventually, even if...
That's why villains always have plans.
Yeah. Well, okay, let me go into that. That's why movies depict the person with the plan, with the 10-year goal, as the bad guy. Because what they're trying to do is trying to tell you that, if you start making moves and start planning a better future for yourself, you are the bad guy.
Isn't that interesting?
You see my point? So in that way, how art imitates life and life imitates art is now everyone looks at you the villain in that movie that they saw, but it's an unconscious thing, by the way, because the typical villain in the movie has bodyguards, has security, has scientists, has engineers, has everything. A typical villain in the movie, in reality, is a businessman. All the people there, they're his staff, employees, management, managerial, security, These people work. They have their own family.
He's creating jobs.
He's creating jobs. He's creating a community. That's the bad person.
Isn't that interesting?
But so it's not now, because people don't have a good imagination, they're gonna go, his big plot is to destroy this, that, and the third. Really isn't. His big plot was to give all these people jobs, to create a business, and businesses to feed the community, feed the nation. And you're the villain. But the hero is the murderer, the mass murderer, the one that puts a bullet in the head without thinking, and you're the hero.
Yeah, sometimes, definitely.
If you're a murderer, you're no hero. If you can take life without losing sleep, you are no hero. Does that make sense?
I always thought about that with James Bond, how he's just literally mass murdering people, and he just doesn't lose a beat. He sleeps like a baby. He's just proper, like, psychopathic behavior to an extreme.
You're no hero. But it's not my fault. The agency sent me, therefore I did my job to its best. You're no hero. You just done a mass murder. You've killed people. You've killed fathers. You've killed mothers. You've killed brothers. You've killed sisters. You've ended many families by that your one action of pew 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 pew. Again, it's how a story is told, that the man who is making jobs, who is creating a better future, is the bad person. Just because his idea of the future is not your idea of the future, you can't talk it out. You won't talk it out.
Mm-hmm.
or go, how can we work together?
Try and understand what's. Yeah.
There you go. No, kill him. So that's a depiction of if you as a person try to break the mold and break the norm and start to create yourself,
you become a villain.
You become the quintessential villain. In their head, they don't even. This is the thing. Many people are so programmed a certain way that they don't even know they're doing that. That's the problem we have today in the world. When you've spent your entire life in that bubble, you cannot see that you are doing this. That's the problem. You cannot see that the mere fact that you are opposing the person, the man or woman, for going the wrong way and trying to make a better life than what they were born into, and you're opposing them, it makes who is not the true villain.
That was my angle when I saw the question, because there's lots of different ways you could take it or tackle it.
Yes.
What stood out to me was when you look at who's portrayed as heroes and villains. Our heroes are people who do what they're expected to do. They're usually not very bright. They're usually not independent or original thinkers.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Yes. They're just kind of doing what a hero does, and they're just really simple. It's almost like anyone can be that hero, right? It's like a pretty kind of simple guy, and often not particularly intelligent.
True.
And then you look at the world, and it's very much the same.
Often the ones who is drunk.
Yeah, and you look around, and the people who do what society expects them to are seen as good per se, whereas the ones who go against the grain, the ones who challenge what's considered conventional or traditional or what's orthodox or whatever, it could be a creative person, it could be someone in politics, it could be someone in any field, but whoever tends to upset the sort of the norm is portrayed as a bad guy. And so what I would say in answer to this question of how to find it, and also what are the pros and cons, if you are actually following your own star as opposed to just going along with what's expected, you are quite naturally going to be seen as problematic, just by being true to that, because each of us is an individual, and we're going to have our own individual intuition, our own guidance, our own whatever, and if you follow your truth, it's going to go up against a lot of what you're taught. And the pros and cons to that depends on how you perceive it, but I would say the pros are you actually get to create what you want to create rather than following this sort of pre-laid out for you path. The cons, if you want to call it cons, is that you are going to be more of a target for criticism. People are going to look at you strangely, because we're taught to seek outside validation and all this kind of stuff. So if you're validating yourself and you're doing what you're doing and you don't really care how it looks, people are going to probably consider you arrogant, problematic. You're going to get more criticism. There's going to be a certain amount of pushback. But I guess it depends what's more important. Whether other people's acceptance, how other people view you is more important. I actually find it's interesting, because as a kid I always related to the heroes, but as time's gone on, I gotta be honest, I find anti-heroes and villains much more compelling at this point. I really do. A lot of times you see the hero and you're just like, oh yeah, it's just some dumb person, like dumb archetype. Whereas the villain, you're like, okay, this guy's got a philosophy. Like, what's going on here? How did he get to this? And obviously there's different kinds of villains, right? You got some that are just genuinely just evil and destructive, or agents of chaos, as you mentioned. But oftentimes there's something going on there where you're like, I get it. I might not agree necessarily, but I get where he's going with this.
You do realize that I said this to you about a year ago. So I said, when you prepare to walk your path in life, prepare to be vilified.
Yes.
When you decide to walk to walk your path, to go your own way and go, this is my calling.
Yes.
When you go for your calling, people are going to go against you just because.
Yeah.
Why? Just because they didn't have the guts to go for their own calling. Just because they didn't have the cojones to say, you know what? Yeah. Whatever happens, but I stood my ground and I took my path.
Yes.
Envy, jealousy comes in, anger comes in. But the anger is not directed towards you.
Yes.
The anger is upon themselves for not doing what you were doing, for not having the guts to say, you know what? Mm-hmm. If I fail, I fail. But I fail on my own terms.
Yeah.
If I win, I win. But I win on my own terms. There's power in that.
100%.
But people don't do that, and then they get mad at you because you did that. So what happens is, in order for them not to look in the mirror, they vilify you. How dare he? How dare he have self-confidence?
Oh man.
How dare she have self-confidence? How dare he go out there and do what they need to do and succeed? It could have been me.
That's the unspoken underneath, isn't it?
Yes. It's unspoken.
Kanye West, Donald Trump,
everyone.
David God. Like, I see it more and more, like, especially once people reach a certain level of progress, momentum, success, and so on. You see people turn on them. You're like, wait a minute.
You realize it's an emotional response.
100%.
It's not logical.
100%, because they usually can't give you a rational explanation for it.
It's irrational. Thank you. Yeah. So, no. But why did it? Yeah, I just don't like the way he brushes his teeth. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it makes you look at them different. Yeah, it makes you go, hold up. That means if I go my own way now, I'm gonna be. You're gonna put me in that.
Yeah.
In that bubble. Or in that box.
You think you're all that.
But then you also have the quote unquote villains who are the agents of chaos. Some people just want to watch you burn down. That's it. They want to watch the world burn. They want to watch you burn down. They just want to argue for argument's sake. If you say blue, they'll say no, red. Okay, fine, red. No, I changed my mind. It was blue all along.
Yeah, you gotta spot those ones, man. I've learned that.
They just want
that's
to.
Just a waste of time and energy.
It's not. It's a waste of your time and your energy. But they revel in it. Because all they want is, again, agents of chaos.
They're feeding off of that.
They're feeding off the chaos.
They're feeding off of that.
When things are going too well, they have to throw a spanner in the works. Just because.
Grenade.
That's the problem. So you, as a person who is saying, you argue with them, you've lost.
Yeah.
The minute you've given reason and logic and they go, yeah, but no, but, just say, okay, I need to go now. Thank you. Just leave. Because nothing you can say can convince you. But the ill-trained eye, the ones who are not well versed in this game, they are going to be like, no, but you need to understand my point.
Yeah, need to be right.
I need to be heard. You don't need to nothing. There's nothing. It's that thing. So it happens too often. Way too often. But the more experience you get, you back. In the first place, I thought I won the argument. No. You just gave them their fill. They got their bottle worth of argument of the day, and they can go home now. And then tomorrow they'll argue again with you.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It bees what it bees.
Oh, that reminds me of an interaction I had a couple of days ago. Something happened, and I said something to someone, and then just from their tone when they replied, I knew, okay, this is a losing proposition. Like, if I continue this conversation, I know what it's gonna be, because the person's not actually they're not hearing what I'm saying, and they don't want to hear it. But they, you know what I mean? It's almost like they're like, like poking you, like to like get you to respond. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave you in that space because I can see this is where you operate from. Like you said, you're an agent of chaos. You're one of those people who's frequently in mess and arguments and all that, and that's not my thing. So I'm gonna just.
I tell people a lot.
Leave you to it.
Learn to argue. Learn how to argue, but learn how to argue with other people who are of logic sense.
Yeah, that's a very different thing.
Different.
You know what's interesting? I always think of, for me, argument is once the emotional component comes into it. I think of what you're talking about as more of a logical debate or discussion.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's possibilities in that situation for me to take on your view and you to potentially take on mine. But when people come into a conversation and they're like, this is how it is, this is how I feel, these are my emotions about it, and they're getting louder and it's an emotional thing, for me that's an argument, and that's when I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
That's why I said I never argue.
No,
I debate with my peers.
There you go. I like that.
Everyone else, I teach.
I like that.
Simple. Because if you want to learn, I'll teach you. I will not force teaching upon you. And I debate with my peers in the sense that, I would like to hear what you think, or your part in this. Why so? As long as we are talking about the same situation, the same topic, we're not arguing. It just means I have where I see this, is that you have where you see it. From where I stand, it's a 6. From where you stand, it's a 9. As long as we're looking at the same thing, you see my point. We're getting somewhere. That's it. But if it's a 6 here, it's a 9 there, and someone says, "Oh, it's a pigeon," I feel like it's a pigeon.
I feel like it's a pigeon. I like that you put "feel like" in there. To feel like people.
I just go, okay. How best do I say leave, please? Either leave, please, or I'm gonna go. It's that. There's no argument because you're seeing, there's your point of view, my point of view, and we are speaking about the same thing. We're good.
Yeah, and I don't have the need to be right anymore.
Dude, I want to be wrong. That makes sense.
I know what you mean, because I
want
usually
to learn.
I usually don't express something unless I've given it real thought. For me to say this is X, it's based on the fact that I've thought about that. I've maybe studied it or researched. It's not just I have a feeling. So I'm usually right. I'll be real with you, and I tell people this, and they look at me like I'm crazy. But it's like I'm usually right because it's based on something. It's not just a whim.
If I say this is X and you say, oh no, okay, this is 2X, and I go, huh? This is 2X because this. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. If they can actually,
I've learned something now.
Yeah. I'm the same.
I want to learn. I like to learn.
I'm not attached to that.
But if I find it hard to deal with people who find it hard to be corrected.
Yeah. Say it again, bruv. I'm the same.
I find it hard to deal with people who find it hard to be corrected.
But that's most people.
No. It's your upbringing. It's not most people. I meet many people who don't mind being corrected. Doesn't matter how old they are. But then I meet the ones who don't want to be corrected. And I go, what's wrong with you? Yeah, it's weird. But
whenever I see that, I always see the insecurity in that. Because if you're secure in yourself, being wrong about such and such a thing isn't such a big deal to you because it doesn't affect your identity or how you see yourself. But if your self image, your security within yourself isn't strong, then these little things become massive things where it's like you have to hold on to this point and you have to be right and you have to, do you know what I mean? It always strikes me as someone who's quite fragile when they can't accept being wrong.
Insecure, fragile, proud. You're absolutely right. I will give you an example. I'll use martial arts as an example. Every martial artist says that martial arts is the best. But wait, there's more. Every martial artist who has spent his whole life doing that one martial arts says their martial arts is the best. It's very important.
Speak on it.
This is why you'd see online, you would see, I don't know, boxing versus taekwondo, Muay Thai versus jiu-jitsu, this versus that. Every single person says that this my style is the best. Here's why. They do not want to accept the fact that it's not, because they feel it will make them feel like their entire life has been wasted. Here's the reality about it. There is no single great martial art. It's not the martial art, it's the martial artist. It's the person, it's the individual. So I've done a myriad of different martial arts. What you will not hear me say is, this is my best, this is my favorite. No, I'll never say that. Because they've all done is they've all taught me how to fight in the best way I can and in the best situation I can. Does that make sense? So it's not defined me to be this person, that person. It's made me into a great combatant.
Right.
Different. I know combat differently now. So it's not, this particular style, that particular style. No, that's not the case. But a person who has done only Aikido all his life is going to go, nah, Muay Thai is rubbish, Aikido is the best.
Just going to die on that hill.
Yeah, because you chose that hill and that's what you've ever known. But then what happens when you watch them, when no one's watching, they start going, let me taste that other style. Let me see what that one tastes like. And they go, this is nice. And 3 months, 6 months in, they're doing that even more and more so. 1 year in, they are now so into that one. But we go, no, dude, keep to your style, but stick your hand in every style and see what it feels like. No one is abusing you, no one's insulting you. But because of your pride and your ego, it makes you feel like people are insulting you. No one is. You're just insulting yourself. Small things, right? That's what it's like. So the ones who don't want to be corrected, don't like to be corrected, is because they're not used to being corrected, and they feel like my way is the only way. There's nothing else you can do to teach me. You can't teach me anything, this, that, and the third. That's how they feel. Right? And it's okay to feel that way, but guess what? You're not above being taught. You're not above being taught. Everyone has to learn. No one's perfect. No one is perfect. No one has the right to say this and that and third. No. You have to learn. You have to learn somebody. What do I know?
Quick question related to your suggestion of 5 minutes of villainy each day. Are you suggesting people keep it to 5 minutes, or use that as a starting point and expand upon that?
No, keep it 5 minutes.
Keep it 5 minutes.
Be a nice person. Keep being nice. Stop not being nice. Be nice. We just practice on how to be not nice. That's it. So whenever there's a time that you need to not be nice, from that moment you don't be nice.
Okay, you've got that muscle's trained.
Exactly.
You have also said previously that be nice to people that deserve you to be nice as well. So I just want to put that out there in case this is the first thing
it blends in together. It's the whole premise of to be necessary. Be nice to those who are nice to you. and be mean to those who are mean to you. Be necessary. Same thing. Same 1 2.
Quality.
Thanking you. Any questions?
No, that was the topic for today. Thank you, Simeon.
Well, I have been Kevin Akes, the voice for video, the face for radio.
The voice for video. You're a joker.
Yeah, Dr. Love, it's been emotional. Thank you very much.